This seller got robbed, literally. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending February 28, 2024. If you watch every single week and you've not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Up here, there's a link to my calendar. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. So, me, my buyer clients, we viewed this property. Later that evening, I receive a phone call from the listing agent asking me if the whole time when we were in the home viewing it, was I with my clients the whole time? Of course I was. That's what we do. We'll walk through. I prefer that if I'm with a couple, say husband and wife, I prefer that we're walking together so we could talk about the different features of the house together, not where one goes one way, one goes the other. I prefer we're all together walking through, experiencing that house together. But I said, yep, we were together, but I thought it was strange that he would ask me a question like that. So I said, why would you ask me that question? And he said that a watch was stolen out of the home. And I remember as soon as he said a watch was stolen, one of the features of that house was that in the principal bedroom, they had this beautiful walk-in closet. It was all decked out with, custom closet organizers. And in the middle was this island, and the top was glass, and there was a display of watches. And I thought, nice set of watches, beautiful island. Why would they keep it here so everybody could see that? I thought it was nice, but I thought, it's a little risky. And sure enough, somehow, some way, a watch is missing. And now the listing agent has to try to figure out what happened. And the sellers are obviously upset. They got their home on their market. They allow people to come in. It's not a right to view people's homes. It's a privilege. And somebody has obviously, with malintentions, taken advantage of the privilege of walking through somebody's house. So it's a very unfortunate situation. This is not the norm. There are thousands of showings, thousands of people viewing people's homes every single week. No issues. But every now and then this happens. And I routinely tell our seller clients before we go on the market, not just hide, but lock up and remove your valuables. Now, the seller in this case is the victim. It's not their fault that their watch got stolen. They're the victim. But I gotta say, don't make it easy for somebody to take advantage of you. Don't just get your value. You don't know who's going through your house. Get your valuables totally out of sight. It's better that they're locked up and away just in case. You don't want to be that exception where something gets stolen out of your house. So if your house is on the market, understand you're letting strangers into your home. Hide your valuables. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, in this show, we're focused on Mississauga, Brampton, and Durham region for detached properties only. The market is shifting. Let's get right into it. These are summaries of average sold prices. I should say for Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby only as my Durham sample. For detached properties, average sold prices, Mississauga is up from the previous week, Brampton a little down, Durham down a bit more. And the difference between Durham region and the Mississauga average sold prices, it's more than $400,000 in average sold prices. So lots of difference there. Let's start off with Mississauga. What's happening out there? Well, 42 detached properties were sold. I've been saying for a while we expect more sales, and well, we're seeing it here in Mississauga. Sales are trending up now for several weeks in a row. The amount of properties selling at $2 million or more is 7 for this week. This is for week ending February the 8th. I got to say that's a bit abnormal. It's not usual that we see that many in Mississauga selling at $2 million or more. Now, 3, 4, 5, 2, that's more normal. 7, there's one here. We have a 6 and an 8 here. At the peak last year, we saw double that, 15, 13, 11. But 7, it's been a while since we've had 7. So what does that do? Well, it shoots average sold price through the roof. So average sold price is now, it went from $1,444,000 to $1,542,000. It jumped up by $100,000. And so I also kind of did the numbers, and let's just say instead of 7 selling at $2 million or more, it was 4, which is what we've seen several times. Well, that would take the average sold price to where I put this dot, which is kind of more in line where average sold prices have been. So $1,542,000 is 4% higher than where we were this time a year ago. Well, for the same period, this year we sold 7 at $2 million. Last year we sold 1 at $2 million or more. The median price is 3% higher than where we were this time a year ago. 1,395 is the median price. The dotted line is a 4-week moving average. And the median price, it's pretty clear, has been trending up. Average sold price, not so much. It was going up. It's kind of flat now. It's kind of hard to read what's happening there with the average price. 42 were sold. 38% of those sold at list price or more. So somewhat competitive. It's not totally dead. It's not going nuts with competition, but somewhat competitive. More than a third sold at list price or more. But that percentage looks like to me it's trending upwards. Listings, 72 were listed. Active listings is slowly starting to creep up, and months of inventory was climbing, but for 4 weeks now, every single week, it's a little bit lower. We're sitting now at 1.6 months of inventory. If you're joining us for the first time, months of inventory is maybe something you haven't heard anybody speak about in the past. Months of inventory is the relationship between supply and demand. The lower the months of inventory means we're going to buy out of all the properties for sale, so it's more competitive. If months of inventory are higher, well, properties are sitting out there longer, buyers have more time to choose. That has a tendency to lower prices. More competition tends to bring prices up. So as months of inventory come down, prices tend to go up. Earlier, as months of inventory was increasing, prices tend to come down. Brampton. 68 detached properties were sold. Now, for a while, Brampton was kind of flat with their sales around the 40 every week. This week, 68 were sold. One of those was at $2 million or more. Average sold price is $1,244,000. 1,244 is 3% higher than where we were this time last year. The median price is 0% higher. And you're wondering, how can it be 0% higher? Well, it is higher, but I round those numbers to give it a whole number. And so I believe it was 0.3 or 0.4 higher than where we were this time a year ago. You look at the dotted line, prices are trending up. Average price, median price is trending up. Sales. We are, for most of this year so far, outperforming. There's more properties being sold, more detached properties being sold in Brampton this year versus last year. The amount selling at list price or more is hovering around a third. It's been like that for a few weeks now. 32% sold at list price or more. More properties, detached properties are being listed in Brampton this year versus last year. Active listings is increasing, and months of inventory was slowly climbing, and then boom, very quickly now it's dropping. It's sitting at 1.3, making for a very competitive market out there. Pretty much when you're looking at 1.3 months of inventory, it's pretty much a seller's market. We say under 3 is a seller's market. Under 3 months, this is 1.3. So Durham, I repeat, Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby is my Durham sample, and we're looking at detached properties only. Sales were kind of sloping down, but this 1 week, they jumped up. So they jumped up in Mississauga, sales jumped up in Brampton, they jumped up in the Durham region. 59 detached properties were sold. None of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price way down from the previous week, sitting at $1,134,000. 1134 is higher by 3% versus last year at this time. The median price is 8% higher. And overall, if you look at the dotted line, kind of looks like average price and median price are trending upwards. Sales, we are, for a good part of this year, outselling, or there's more properties of detached properties being sold this year versus last year. The amount selling at list price or more, when it comes to that percentage, it's higher in Durham than most parts of the GTA. 64% of properties sold at list price or more. Durham is very competitive. I am working with buyers looking to buy in Pickering, Ajax, and especially Whitby. Almost every listing is listed with an offer date. Very competitive. Active listings is increasing. 84 detached properties were listed. Months of inventory, incredibly low. 0.7 months of inventory. Pretty much a seller's market. It's been like that for the whole year so far. Here's a quick summary. I've put condos for Peel region here just as contrast. If anybody's thinking or still has the idea of buyer's market in their brain, I'm telling you, we're nowhere near a buyer's market, which is over 5 months of inventory. So forget buyer's market. If you're looking at condos, yeah, you'll probably experience a balanced market, but generally speaking, we are in a seller's market, and there's different degrees of a seller's market. For sure, you're going to find examples of properties sitting there that nobody's buying. That does not make it a balanced or a buyer's market. Overall, we are in a seller's market. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.